Hiya! Welcome! It was my birthday last week and I got all sorts of really kind gifts, cards, acts of kindness from friends, from family. And a couple of my friends sent me very generously, and I'm so appreciative, some Amazon store credit, some gift certificates. Now, of course, what would I want to spend Amazon store credit on? Funko Pops, of course, and thanks to a very generous friend of mine, he knows who he is, I was able to get 2 Funko Pops here to finish off a certain line, a certain collection of mine. So without further ado, what I need to do now is to get my trusty yellow knife into action. Cheer up, sleepy Jean, oh what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen. Alright, and now let us have a slistle. Woo! So altogether, free delivery and free Prime next day delivery as well. These cost, I think, £20.80, something like that. 2 vaulted pops as well. Just 2 that I need to complete a collection. As I open the box and see that there's the usual rather underwhelming Amazon brown paper regarding packaging. I'll get this one first. So 2 pops to look at. The first one is in the UFC line, number 4, Jose Aldo. Excellent. This one, I don't know the exact price. Like I say, £20.80 was the total price. This one was like £9 something. Both from a third-party seller on Amazon, but one that was available to send out via next-day Prime delivery. So a look on the back there. Not really much to say, as I have 4 of those. Yes, there is one of those there that I've got left to show you. The 2 that I don't have are Conor McGregor. I have the later revision and don't need him again. And ditto Ronda Rousey, although the Ronda Rousey I have is in fact in the WWE line, not the UFC. So this pop I think was from around 2016. On this first early UFC line, I think the kind thing to say is the detail is a little bit underwhelming, but still happy to have him. Here's Jose Aldo, former UFC featherweight champion. There again, not an awful lot to say about probably most of these UFC pops really, but I like them. I know Liam Nally also likes them. I think Geeky Heathen, although he doesn't collect these, I think he's a bit of a UFC fan on the quiet as well. So there is a few of us out there who enjoy this stuff. So Jose Aldo has short brown hair or dark hair. You can see his tattoo there, kind of on his left shoulder, but heading down towards his pectoral. He's got black gloves with red stripes, red shorts with black trim, and as is standard for UFC pops, he is barefoot. I never have a close look at the toes, but yeah, the toes look like toes, as you would expect. Not my favourite pop ever, but for completist's sake, I had to get him at some point, and it's been cheap on Amazon for quite a while. I think it's been a fairly good price on Pop in a Box, but Amazon was a better place for me to buy him from in this instance because of the lack of postage charges. I'm putting him back in his box because these UFC pops, eventually I will display them out of box, as I think they'll look good with my wrestling pops, but I need to get another cabinet up at some point and I don't know when that's going to be just yet. So temporarily they're going back in box. As for condition, even though there wasn't a lot of packaging, and it's a pop that's getting on a little bit in years now, fine, excellent. I'm not worried about the boxes for these anyway, because like I said, they'll be coming out of them at some point. Right, we've got one more pop to show you. The pop that will officially finish this UFC collection for me, at least until if and when UFC and Funko decide to release another wave. And that is one of my favourite fighters, might be my favourite fighter of all time actually, toss up between him and McGregor. This is a guy who I really enjoyed watching when I first started watching UFC, kind of 13, 14 years ago, and it is Spider himself, Anderson Silva. Yeah! So I was quite a big Anderson Silva fan back in the day. Like I say, I don't really watch a lot of UFC now. It's become more difficult for me to access it, and also when I can access it, just to have the time to watch it, really, as I've got so much else that I want to do and other stuff that I want to watch, music to listen to, blah blah blah. Number 5 in the Series 1 line, as they call it. Don't need to go through the back of the box again, as I've talked about all of these either in this video or in previous videos. Basically, not including this Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey, I've got them all one character per series, remember? So I will get Anderson Silva out. An absolute legend in mixed martial arts. Certainly an exciting fighter who really turned me on to the sport. This Brazilian here, Anderson Silva, he had a massively long winning streak. He had a very long run with, I think it was the middleweight title. I'm kind of always a little bit iffy on some of the titles, but I will have put the glam shots and some MMA stats about both Spider and Jose Aldo, so you will know what their stats are and titles held and stuff. But here he is, Anderson Silva. He has a bald head. There again, if this was made today, I think there'd be a lot more detail, but it does look like him, you know. If I was just to see this out of box and having never seen the pop range before, I'd be like, oh, is that Anderson Silva? So, unlike a couple of the others in this early UFC wave, I think I would be able to tell who this was just from looking at him out of box like this. So his black gloves with red bands again, and yellow shorts with a black trim. And that's really all you can say about him. He's got the generic Funko, kind of like a fighter stance, but for me that's more a generic early Funko Pop stance. Marvellous. Happy to have him. There again, he's one of my favourite fighters, but is he one of my favourite Funko Pops? No. And not even one of my favourite UFC Funko Pops. I think out of the UFC range that I've now completed, my favourite is either the newer Conor McGregor or Khabib Nurmagomedov. Both of those are really cool. Although George St. Pierre's a cool one as well. I don't know. All that newer wave look really great, to be honest. It's this early wave that's a little bit on the basic side. But I wanted these to complete the collection, and I got 'em, damn it. Woohoo! Thank you all for watching. Thank you again to my wonderful friend, who knows who he is, for enabling me to treat myself to these pops via the Amazon gift certificate that he got me for my birthday. Really appreciate that. Thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you to all of my subscribers for subscribing. And of course, thank you to all my absolutely spanking gorgeous patrons for supporting me and all my endeavours on Patreon. If you would like information on my Patreon, and I hope to have a new giveaway coming up very soon just for Patreons, that is going to be absolutely epic, and that is no overstatement either. So please watch out for that. That is coming along soon. So you need to be a Patreon to be involved in that, but you will not regret it, I promise you. I also have affiliate and discount links in the description for my preferred and trusted Funko suppliers, Hull Pops, Culture Freak, Glass Shelf Collectibles, and ATV. I'm going to go now and just count down the days until I'm able to get Jose, Anderson, and all my other UFC pops out of box and into one of my new pop cabinets. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next Funko Pop unboxing video. Cheers everyone. See ya!